In this video, we will discuss what we believe is the top 10 safety tips when traveling. Okay, so at number 1, we advise choose your transportation wisely. Now, whether you're using a taxi service or a private car service, you always want to make sure that you're using an accredited company. You want to ensure that the car looks like it's in good condition. You want to make sure the car looks like it's new, it has all the safety features necessary, has working seat belts. And we always advise, if it's available in that country, to use Uber or Lyft, as Uber and Lyft still does a bit to vet the driver and ensure that the car is of a newer model. Okay, and number 2, you want to check in with the US Department of State. So the US Department of State's website, travel.state.gov, can provide you with updated safety information on every country in the world. So you can find out everything from which vaccinations you'll need, if the country has any of those requirements, any local laws, to any travel warnings, including crime and security warnings in that country. The website also has a program called a STEP program, which is a Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, where you can register your travel plans so that in the event of an emergency, whether it's a natural disaster, an emergency back home, or any kind of civil unrest, they will be able to contact you and know that, okay, you are in that country and that was your plan. You can also locate on that website the location of any US embassy, in that location, or the closest US embassy to that country, so that in the event that you do need to contact the US embassy, you have an idea of what number to call and where to go. Number 3 is we advise that you review the exit procedures in the hotel that you're staying. So when arriving at your hotel, the only thing, I know if you're going to your hotel, the only thing that's in your mind is, okay, time to relax, it's my vacation. But it's always good to have a plan in the event something bad is to take place, or in the event of an emergency. So when arriving, you should scope out the exit plans, procedures to exit the hotel safely in the event that you actually need to do so. Number 4, we always advise that you have an emergency contact and somebody who is not traveling with you, somebody who's in your home country. So you want to make sure that they are aware that you're traveling, probably leave an itinerary with them so they have an idea of where you are in the event that they need to contact you, or that in the event that something back home happens and they need to get in touch with you. So you want to try not to go too under the radar, especially if you're traveling alone. So leaving your itinerary with your emergency contact, could be a trusted family or friend, and you should try checking in with him or her every day, especially if you're traveling alone, as traveling has its dangers that accompanies anyone. So it's always best to keep in contact so that everyone back home knows that you're safe. And number 5, scan a copy of your passport. Now this may seem simple, but it's also very important. When traveling to a foreign country, it's always good to be prepared for anything. Scan your passport and ID and email it to yourself so that you have an electronic copy that you can access at any time once you have an internet connection over your email. You never know what can happen. You can lose your passport, it can get stolen, you can have your passport in your bag and somebody takes it, or it can fall into your pocket. You never know what can happen. But by having a copy of these documents, you can at least have an electronic copy of these documents that you can provide to the embassy or possibly the airline so that they can assist you with getting you back home without any delay. And number 6, this is something that's unlikely to happen, but as the list goes so far, it's better to be safe than sorry. So whilst you're in your hotel room, if you have any unexpected request by someone claiming to be room service or maintenance and it seems out of the ordinary, it's probably better to be safe than sorry. Contact the hotel front desk and find out if this is actually the case, that a maintenance man or somebody from room service is trying to come inside your hotel room. And that way you can verify that this is actually legitimate. This will avoid possibly somebody following you and wanting to try and come and rob you or take your items. So this is a worst case scenario. It's probably something that's very unlikely to happen, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. And at number 7, this one sounds like an obvious, but don't flash your cash or valuables in public. It's not good whether you're home or abroad traveling, to flash big wads of cash or expensive jewelry, especially when especially when you're visiting a poor country or a country that's known for crime or has a higher crime rate. So this will definitely draw attention to yourself, raising the chances of you becoming a target of opportunity. And number 8, when traveling abroad, if you're traveling to maybe some smaller countries or poorer countries, something you may see quite often is stray animals, stray dogs or stray cats. And to many pet lovers out there, it's probably going to break their heart not to probably go try and pet the animal or try and feed them. Now, we're not saying don't be human, we're saying to be careful, because many times some of these animals can be carrying foreign diseases that you're not accustomed to, that your body's not accustomed to. So if you are going to try and maybe feed an animal or pet it or anything like that, just be careful and take the extra precautions. And number 9, keep an emergency kit. So this comes more for travelers who are doing road trips or doing long drives. It's always good to keep an emergency kit on you. Or if you're backpacking let's say throughout Europe, have a small emergency kit in your backpack. So this should include stuff like medication that you would need if you get sick. If you have any allergies, your allergy medication. You want to keep maybe some small non-perishable food, a flashlight, some first aid items, maybe a bottle of water. And if you're traveling, you can expand on how many emergency items you have and be prepared for anything. And at number 10, we recommend knowing your emergency numbers when you're traveling abroad. Not all countries use the code 911 for emergency purposes, so before traveling to a foreign country, go look up the emergency numbers, as there is a possibility the code can be different, and you never know when you might need them. And these are our top 10 travel and safety tips. Now, if you have any questions or if you have your own tips you'd like to recommend, please feel free to post it in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to our page if you found this was helpful to see more videos similar to these. Thank you.